We thought about 8 months back. The reason is when I saw the kind of disturbing news like Chat GPT is coming over, quantum computing is coming, a lot of things in the technological tsunamis are coming. I was just imagining what if whatever they are saying, if that happens, will the number of jobs in cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai, wherever the IT companies are recruiting, already recruited, if the generic programming jobs, testing jobs, all those things are automated, what will happen to India? Because India, with the density of population, what we have, the youth are not properly advised and they are not properly taken care of. And that youth becomes unemployed youth. In addition to that, existing employees from the industry, they are also moved out because of the layoffs or whatever. It could be a recession problem, or it could be Chat GPT kind of AI tools problem, whatever it is. What will happen to us? See, this youth, I have seen when I was studying in IIT Madras, there were hardly any jobs in India. There were only few IITs were there and few engineering colleges. Even for them, there were no jobs. Thanks to IT industry, we have created, whether it's a mechanical diploma or metallurgical diploma, everybody, we were able to take it. And really, I mean, all this 20, 25 years, IT industry really took care of the Indian youth, taking them and pushing them to US and various other countries. All that was a good run rate we had. Recently, I'm a bit unwell, so because of medicines, my throat becomes very dry. So what I thought is, if that really happens, అంటే తెలుగులో సామెత ఉంది, కీడెంచి మేలించమంటారు. So that may not happen or may happen, we don't know. What will happen to India? The so-called Amrit Kaal, trillion-dollar economy. So all today, majority of it is IT-driven economy, because we are able to recruit millions of people, good salaries and all that. They are spending money, consumerism increasing, everything is going good. Today, just for sake of imagination, say IT industry in Hyderabad is not there. Just imagine what will happen, how many families will get impacted. So that is the kind of fear I had, and I thought, why don't we look at what are the solutions? So I thought, if only we can really help the startup community In India, a lot of, by then, a lot of people are already getting into the startups. Some startups got into unicorn and some may be getting into decacorn. Working in yesterday's technology, most of the startups, they have to get funding, they have to survive, they have to obviously work in tomorrow's technology, and obviously they have to work in an innovative way. Then only any investors will put money into those startups. Whether they have to train the manpower and all that, that's a secondary thing. But for them to really succeed as a startup, they have to think differently, because they have to compete with a global startup community. Not that one startup in Hyderabad, if he thinks that, no, my competition is only in Hyderabad, I don't think he can survive like that. Any startup, they have to think competition is global. When they're thinking competition is global, naturally, they will come out with the innovative idea, innovative business processes, and new technologies. Then only they will get funded, then only they will get the business, and they will survive and succeed. When they succeed, obviously they will need some manpower, and also they create wealth for the nation. So jobs for the nation, wealth for the nation. These two are the fundamental thing which I thought, by supporting the startup ecosystem, by bringing them together and connecting them to all the investors, mentors, and market leaders who can actually provide the business to them. Because many of the startup community, I myself have gone through 2 startup companies. So initial days, very difficult to get even, nobody recognizes you. So when nobody is recognizing, who will give business to you, who will give funding? So that's when I thought that people like us, in fact, I was telling my friend Ranjan Chekning, I think our important thing is, very, very important thing is, we need to see how the job creation engine do not slow down. The moment it slows down, it will have a lot of other, this thing, our democratic system, everybody, they will try to take advantage of those unemployed youth, ask them to come for meetings, and all those things will happen. But what will happen to if suppose rail rocos, rasta rocos, bus rocos, auto rocos is happening, even the existing companies also, what is this, a lot of disturbances, they will also start looking at other places. So it's very important. In fact, I was talking to one of the people sitting on the dais. He was also telling, we are not creating even the manpower required for the startups. Human capital, all our BTechs, universities and all that, they are in still industry 1.0. They are not even talking about industry 4.1 or 5.0 already has come. So how do we create the human capital? Otherwise, what will happen? The startups who have started here, there is no manpower. VLK was telling another day in the ICA meeting, the depth of the distance. That's a very good example. When there is a depth of the distance, why the startups will give jobs to somebody who does not know quantum computing, who does not know some of the algorithms which are required to be developed? He will always, suppose they find somebody in Czechoslovakia or Poland or with PhDs in mathematics, because of the depth of the distance, he not have to come, but he will outsource that work to him and get that work done for his startup. Because startup, they have to, come with a product or whatever solution better than his competition. He can't, no, I am not having manpower here, I have to train, I'll start after 1 year and all that. Shobhu, please come. Why don't you come and sit on the dais? There's one chair. Come. So that was the main intention why I thought of creating a foundation. Fortunately, this foundation is owned by all the volunteers. They're all successful entrepreneurs. They're all CXOs from large companies and small companies. Nobody owns this foundation. Like any startup company, this foundation do not have any money. And in fact, when we started our first festival in October 22 last year, there was no money in the foundation, and we were not having any website, no domain names of the conference, but still, we ran that ISF 22 conference in Bangalore in Mudanhalli, like all the who's and who's from the investment community, CEOs and large MNC heads of India like HSBC and all these companies, all their India heads were here, including Ramesh Kaza and Satish Chandra, all these people who are sitting on the dais, VLK, they were all there supporting the startups. And we received about 2,500 startups for the startup competition that time. And out of that, we selected about 18. See, normally what happens is any conference, after the conference, they don't really bother about those companies. So what we have done differently, soon after the conference is over, I told all the people who are there in our committees, no, don't log off from your committees. We are converting the same committee as the mentor committee. So the mentorship started within 2-3 weeks from the conference, 3 weeks. Within 3 weeks from the conference is over, our weekly, every Saturday, 10:30 to 11:30, 1 hour, 200 mentors, every company who are selected in the 18 members list, they used to come and pitch their this thing, and we used to solve whether it's a funding issue or a technology issue or market access issue, whatever the issues they presented. In fact, some of them who got benefited by our Startup Festival activities, ISF, they're all here. Probably maybe one minute they can say what they got out of ISF 22. Maybe Ramana, starting from you.
And this is possible because the mentors whom we have here, they have not only traveled this journey a few more steps than us, but also have successfully built businesses. It is not that they have failed. They all are successful entrepreneurs, and they are sharing their experience apart from running their businesses. So you can see the ones who have absolutely no ulterior motive in your benefit, if they are sharing time and energy with you, that means they are truly involved or truly in sync for your benefit. So I really thank sir for this opportunity. I'm sure many more startups will be benefited like this. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, good morning, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate Telangana government for celebrating the first anniversary of 2.0. Thanks, MSR, Mr. Srinivas Taluka, and everyone whoever are here, assembled from T-Hub. Being a proud T-Hub startup, our journey started with ISF. Till that time, no one knows Atom State. So they are the one who has given the recognition to us, and that has built a lot of confidence, and from there onwards we are not looking backward at all. I'm very happy for that. Only one point I would like to really highlight is that the sort of mentoring is happen every Saturday post the event I'm talking about. That's a great idea, Mr. Jay Garu, because that has helped me and other T-Hub startups like Praveen, my friend who is also here, Accelero. In fact, we have even got the customer connects. They go to the customers and connect these startups. So that is how I have opened up so many opportunities for us. It's been really my honor to be part of this great ISF ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Hi, 2 pilots, 2 engineers, that's our company, building full motion flight simulators, probably the only one in India. Challenging a global oligopoly, 80% market held by 3 companies for nearly a century. Very unique product built out of passion and patriotism. Unknown path, unknown market, long gestation. The first organization to recognize us was ISF 2022 Bangalore. We were in the top 10 out of the 2000. I I didn't even know that we were winning. I gave my pitch and I left. Next day I got a call, you won. So I met, then what happened normally, I didn't expect it. JSR and Deena visited my workshop, flew my simulator, saw it in person, very rare. Next, the business is with Ministry of Defense. I asked, sir, how do I approach? I couldn't believe I got a meeting with Dr. Satish Reddy, who reports to the Defense Minister. Step jump. Next connection, DRDO ADA, Program Director Mr. Jadhav, came to my simulator, again tested it and said, okay, we'll go ahead with it. Once it's a little more mature, come back to us. See, the steps I'm telling would have taken me 3 years on my own. We are at a stage now where Air Force has come, flown, given their recommendations, and we are the only Indian company being considered for spatial disorientation simulators by IIM. There was a plenary session on Tuesday. So, ISF last year was the one which gave us confidence. And I can't thank ISF, Jay Garu and everybody else in the team who mentored us and helped us along this way, giving us the connections with government which otherwise are nearly impossible for a startup to get, despite being ex-defense. Thank you, sir.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Mahesh. I'm doctorate by Biomedical Engineering and Science, but I ventured into agri-tech company. As you know, agri-tech company is something, it is booming at the moment, but you don't have many investors and the greater community to support this. But again, the ISF is the one platform. We have got the all support, not just from India, but across the world, from UK and many other European countries. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Raghav Mamadipalli, co-founder at Amilio. Amilio is a AI-based, community-powered social networking platform for. I'll just take 30 seconds to what we are. If you imagine Hyderabad, basically we are an Instagram for food. You can imagine TikTok for food. And if you want to imagine Hyderabad to be a micro community for restaurants and foodies, where restaurants can showcase their menus and experiences while the foodies can actually click to a book and tap to order the food. So basically, in a truly connected Amilio world, connections can be made over interest, and food becomes a conduit for social networking. That is the essence of Amilio. But I want to speak about ISF. We are here because of ISF. ISF has been a great platform for us. They have opened up global access of investors, mentors. We have been able to close first round of funding. We are recognized by Google now, one of the top 30 AI ML startups in the APAC. But now we are ushering in new startups, and I'm speaking to all the audience here. We are happy to connect to all the investors who can work with us. We are happy to tell our story and go forward with this. I welcome all the startups, budding startups, and I wish them all the best.
So one thing I forgot to mention, he's my partner in crime. He's the co-founder and I'm the founder. So I wanted to have him share the dice and share our emotions with you. Thank you, Raghav.
Hi, good morning everybody. I'm Sharath. I'm the founder CEO of a startup called Hiring Hood. Our journey also started with ISF. We are skeptical who will listen to our stories and all earlier. But luckily, because of the ISF event and support from Jay Garu, we pitched our idea in last year, and we got good support, mentors from, as most of my colleagues have, or my friends who are a part of ISF have shared. We have got fantastic support from ISF mentorship team. They gave us leads to the investors, and they also have guided us on so many things, because they have fantastic experience guiding startups. As some of my colleagues also said, startup journey is a lonely journey, as I rightly agree. And now when we are part of ISF and the Saturday meetings there, we always felt we have an army of SMEs with us, which gave us a lot of confidence. And that actually one led to the other. We got a T-Spark award from TSIC, and we got selected for the T-Angel program of T-Hub, and we also got some term sheets from some of the investors. And we are looking forward to fundraise, and we also wanted to get some mentors as well to support our organization. And I wish all my fellow startups best of luck for today's event. And just to one line about our startup is basically we are an accelerated hiring technology platform. We help employers to hire people faster because we have built a recruiter aggregation platform on the other side, where we take hot demands on one side, hot supply on the other side, and do a tech using deep tech AI and ML. We match the job seeker versus the JDs, and then we help them employers to hire people faster. That's a big problem that we are trying to solve. So, and we are a B2B SaaS deep tech company. That's what is small brief about our startup. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ram Kumar Verma. I represent Native Araku Coffee, one of the premium coffees from India. So quickly, I wanted to go back and thank ISF because we've been working with farmers for about 5.5, 6 years. It's the competitive market of coffee, right? So coffee is the second biggest commodity in the globe. So when we reached out to ISF when it is actually formulating, when JSR said, Ram, I think you need to be part of it. Then I started spending time with the core team to understand how can we really build the brand? How do we really get the network connectivity right? How do we talk about how do we position our organization in the global market? That is when the mentorship has come into picture. And then we started spending time in how do we take this brand to the global level. And today our presence is there in the globe. And one good thing about ISF, which I really appreciate everybody is, every mentor takes the responsibility to add value to the startup ecosystem. It's just not funding. It is just about branding, taking your organization to the next level, where there are challenges on the milestone, how do we bridge that gap? And that's the beauty behind it. I would like to thank ISF team and especially JSR, because for the event of 2023, when Sir was traveling across the globe, he said, Ram, I think we need to carry something very, very unique to India, very, very passionate to India. And that's when they have chosen Native Araku Coffee, and we've given written gifts to every international delegate, traveled all the way from here to UK and US. And I would like to thank, and that's the first brand which we've got in the global market. Thank you so much, one and all, for the opportunity, sir.
Thanks a lot. So this is a small sample. In fact, last week there is one more sample. One of my close friends, he had a great company, and I was trying to mentor him, and he was telling me that I am facing a lot of cash flow problems and I'm not able to grow the manpower and all that. I introduced him to one of my friends in the real estate segment. Why don't you look at investment? Because he needs money immediately. Because I am also general partner in a fund called Succeed Innovation Fund. So we take at least 3 to 4 months, right? Am I telling more? 3 months, yeah. So for a small fund, we take 3 months. If a VLK kind of a big fund, you take 6 months? Oh, good. They're competing, good. So, but he wanted money immediately. I mean, the burn is so much and he was not able to, a lot of frustration. So, thankfully, that person whom I introduced, he said, Jay, because you are giving the reference, I am putting $500,000 in this company, and now he got the money, now he is trying to take the company to the next level. So, reason why I am telling all of you, it's not necessarily only angel investors or venture capitalists have to step in. Hyderabad, I see lot of high net worth individuals. Like for example, I also invested when I sold my company to NVIDIA, I invested lots of land in my native place in Anantapur. It's a kind of a dead investment. Now I am feeling I should have invested that in some good startups, help the startups to create more jobs, even though I lose some money in some startups, at least in the nation building activity, my money will be useful to somebody who is going to create wealth, create jobs for the country. So I request all the all the investors, HNIs, particularly I request HNIs, look at how you can meet a startup company, particularly initial stages when they don't have any money, because a lot of angel forums and all that, they only look at when they cross that first level. But before they cross the first level, they get into the death valley, the so-called software startup death valley. So why don't we all talk to them and see whether we can give some oxygen when he is in ICU. So that's what I think all the HNAs can do. I request all of you who are present here, please look at, because this is the time for India. Otherwise, whatever you are seeing, all good things, there may be some problems in the coming future because of the AI tools, because of the new technologies. If that really happens, what will happen? Even our real estate business may not grow. If IT industry is not there, even so, to protecting your own industry, please start investing in startups. See that many startups from India will succeed, and also they will become. We should create Apples or Microsofts or Google from India. The time has come. We have a very big market. I think we can definitely make it happen. With this, I really want to thank once again to all my invited guests who have come here. I also want to thank MSR for giving excellent support for us. And we want to make T-Hub as our partner, and we are going to sign an MOU with T-Hub. And Hyderabad, definitely we have a lot of good friends are there. In fact, when I was talking to Vamshi, he said, I have a good idea. Why don't we discuss related to how we can help the startups? So let everybody think, what is that I can do to help the startups? Just 1 hour a week. You don't have to think more than that. 1 hour a week, you donate that time. What is that I can do for helping a startup ecosystem so that they will survive and succeed? So with this, I once again thank everybody. For particularly, I want to thank the media friends, and I want to thank all the startup founders who have come here. Definitely, you have a great story. All of you can become successful. Thank you.
I would like to also welcome Shubhu Yalagada garu. He just joined late. So, sir, you might be having many titles, but for us, you are investor and producer for Bahubali. Round of applause.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We start. Good morning, Evan. Sorry. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to welcome our esteemed guest to come share their views and speak for a few minutes. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Srinivas Rao, CEO of T-Hub, the world's largest startup innovation center, very much located in the heart of Telangana.
So first of all, good morning, Eid Mubarak to all of you. I was telling VLK as I was coming up, दुनिया बदल रहा है, देश बदल रहा है, Hyderabad भी बदल रहा है. Imagine an event in Hyderabad which is starting at 9:15 in the morning, right? And seeing so many of you. Right? So first of all, when I look at this stage and when I look at this audience, right? I don't know how many of you actually have seen this Avenger, Marvel series, right? This is like a collection of superstars and, superheroes. So first of all, thank you for all being here. So when you think about an entrepreneurial ecosystem, right, what do you need? Obviously, you need startups, you need large companies, you need industry bodies, you need industry associations, you need VCs, you need government and policy makers, all of them to come together. And this is really an awesome event. So first of all, Jack Garu, as I call him fondly, congratulations for putting this together. It is really an awesome labor of love, right? It is really so heartening. I was telling VLK that we must find out what he actually breathes, okay? because obviously it's some air which we don't breathe. So some of you may know he's just gone through a major surgical procedure less than a month ago. But sir, kudos and hats off to you and your team of volunteers for putting this together. So I'm sure a lot will be said today. I'll keep this short. But again, I think this purely, getting this whole community together, right? And I think we've talked about over the last year and a half, we've talked about what it will take for us to build Hyderabad to get its rightful place under the sun in terms of building a really world-class ecosystem. We have all the necessary ingredients. We have talent available in plenty. We have fantastic infrastructure. I don't think any other city in India has infrastructure which can even come within a mile of what is being built in Hyderabad. An extremely supportive government. Very few governments in India, forget not India, but the rest of the world would invest the kind of capital which has been gone into building something like T-Hub, T-Works, and the upcoming image behind. So we have all the ingredients. We are an entrepreneurial class. So India's largest infrastructure companies, India's largest pharma companies come from Hyderabad. So there's no reason why we cannot become sooner or later the number one, entity from a IT and from a startup perspective, right? So it's so good to see all of this together. And again, for all the founders, we know today, unfortunately for over the last few months, it's been all doom and gloom, right? Funding winters, governance issues, slowdown of capital coming in, etc. But remember, after every winter, spring comes, right? Or after every, darkness, there is dawn, right? So things will get better. I think you just have to be persistent, keep the faith. You have a great ecosystem which is being put together. There was another initiative which Satish was leading. We had a great event on the 4th of May, along with support from Manisha and her team. So it's good to see so many things coming together. I think while in some ways it might feel that there is a perfect storm, it's actually coming together in a really positive sense. And we can now start to see how we can all collectively work together to make sure we create not just, one measure, of course, is unicorns. While that is important, it's also about building sustainable businesses which scale, which create jobs. I think Jack Garu referred to the fact that India needs more job creating entrepreneurs, right? And this is a great, pleasure to be associated with the curtain raiser here, and look forward to building a truly world-class entrepreneurship ecosystem in Hyderabad. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garu. So TAB is the one that inspired me to come back from the US. So I would next welcome Mr. VLK Lakshmikant Garu, the managing partner of Wavestone, to share his words for 2 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. I think there's a long list of speakers, so I think we'll probably spend the whole day out here, I guess. So anyway, first of all, Jay Garu, so thank you very much for leading the way. And like MSR and I spoke, very special energy. I think a lot of startups are looking at alternate energy sources for, EV and hydrogen, etc. Please tap Jay Garu. So that could be one source of energy for all of us. So truly inspired by what you're doing. Happy to be associated with this. Very simple message. I think timing is right. I think everything is coming together. From a world perspective, India is sitting in the right place, right time, right opportunity. And all of us are here in this room is a reflection of that. So more importantly, I believe that the self-belief that we have today is what's going to make the difference. So looking forward to great connections, which leads to conversations, which leads to great relationships. Looking forward to a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, VLK Garu, for those kind words, and thank you for your support. So next, I would like to invite Mr. Dayakar Puskuru, founder and MD of Dallas Venture. He's an entrepreneur by heart, supported many startups. Please.
Hello, everyone. It's interesting for me. I was just here a few months back. Then I would like to say a few words about Jay Garu. Actually, without him, I would not have had a company. And he's the one actually gave us the first internet connection in Hyderabad when we first started. a lot of people may not know, want to recognize, I really kind of call him almost, Hyderabad, IT, sector, father of IT sector, especially. A lot of people may not know, a lot of young people, when I started my first company in 1996, we take it for granted right now. You can get, maybe 20 internet connections or maybe 100 cell phones. But even getting a phone connection used to take 3 months. And so it was a big dish on our building. Jay Garu came to our office and made sure like we had internet connection. So thank you, sir. Again, he was in Dallas. As MS Garu mentioned, I don't know how he gets his energy and what he went through recently. And he was in Dallas for an event we hosted. Close to 250 people came. That is especially, serving people in the US, not even here. So, think about how he thinks about a global, problems he can solve. So, thank you, sir. Again, I would like to say a few things about really, for founders, especially, again, congrats. Give a big round of applause to people who showed up here today, right? If I look at really, when I started my company, we did not have any mentors at all, really, especially people look like us, right, in the US. So they used to think if you start a company, you become a CTO, somebody also going to come and run your company. That's the way the whole platform was in the US. But I'm happy to see there's so many mentors available right now and a platform from the government. We should thank the Telangana government creating the T-Hub platform. And pleasantly, especially getting MSR Garu to lead the stuff. I have seen so much energy after coming, sir, here. I'm seeing every month like how much activity is happening. People like us, able to participate. Thank you, sir. Again, one thing I would say, really, please, I know somebody mentioned it gets lonely. It does get lonely, being a founder and CEO. I've been through that one. Even after raising $55 million in 2000, we did not have any, kind of founders and all that. I founded only about Thai after raising the money. So please take advantage of what SAR started right now. Meet these mentors. Don't worry about really fundraising. First, get your product. That's what I kind of call it. Get a product market fit. Our focus on a painkiller versus a vitamin. That's all I can say. So I think you will succeed if you focus on painkiller. Thank you.
Thank you, Dagar Garu. So next I would like to invite Sashi Andhra, Managing Partner in India Partners, to share his words for 2 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Congratulations, Jay Garu and his entire Lagan team, for making this happen. I think even, the union government level and across the world, it's very, very clear, right? Startups contribute to GDP. Startups create, employment. They pay more direct and indirect taxes, also create wealth. So I think it's very clear. And for startups, I think the most important things, apart from raising capital that they need, is finding customers and mentors or advisors who are committed, right? So I think ISF making that available is very, very precious. So we should all be very thankful and, of course, take good advantage of what they're making available to everyone out there. My only submission, I've been an entrepreneur before starting Venture Capital Fund. A lot of us, because of either media or peers, or we believe that raising money is the only thing, right, in the journey of entrepreneurship. And that's not the truth. Actually, whether you raise capital or not, it does not matter. What you want to do is solve a real problem and then obviously reach out to customers that care about solving the problem and have the right unit economics so that you can build sustainable and viable businesses. It's okay, if you are on Shireen Ban's show or ET or Forbes, whatever. Even if you are not there, it does not matter. I think as long as you can create a good company, create employment, make sure that your company is viable and is able to deliver value, I think that's very sacrosanct and that's a great journey. So all of you today, who are here, who are going to pitch, don't expect to walk out with term sheets. I think you're networking with people, you're learning from other peers, and then Obviously, these relationships blossom and then kind of turn into transactions at certain points of time. Wishing you the very best, and again, thanks to ISF for such a noble cause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? That's what you shared the key message. I would like to next invite Mr. Vamshi Krishna Reddy to share his 2-minute thoughts.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks, Jay Garu, for having us here. I think what I've seen in the last couple of years, especially, I live just next door, and the transformation which has been happening just in front of my eyes in terms of, not just the building, but the activity that's happening within the building. So I think, thanks and kudos to MSR for actually kind of making that happen. I'm sure, a lot of us spoke about here, what exactly it takes. What I see is when we speak to a lot of entrepreneurs or founders, I think everyone is really looking at, how do we get capital, right? I think I definitely feel there's much more we can leverage out of this network than capital, like whether we get access to customers or early stage angel investors like what JR was mentioning, or, just accessing the team to build a great team as such, right? So I think there's so many things which are beyond just the funding as such. And I think things are much more easier, I would say, to start up right now versus, what it used to be like maybe 10 or 15 years ago when, some of us started and gone through that journey. I think access to capital, access to networks, access to customers is all within your reach. And it's just about how you go about doing that I think is a very key important thing. And one of the things is that, as a founder, I think we always feel rejected a lot. And I think 99% of the time you're rejected. The only thing I've learned is that there's one check that is waiting out there for you. You need to just go find that, right? And, I'm 1000% sure that you have that check written on your name. You just need to go how and find it. So as long as you're on that journey, I'm sure you'll get there. But I think this is a great initiative, and I'm sure with more and more support which is happening from the ecosystem, I think we'll be able to thrive and build larger and greater companies, not just from the country, but more and more. I would say more on Hyderabadi. So I'd love to see what we can do out of here. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Vamshi Garu. So entrepreneurship is a journey. It's patience and perseverance that makes you succeed. Thanks for sharing those wise words. I would like to next invite Ramesh Kazaji from State Street to share his thoughts and words.
I'm going to break that location. 15 days back, I happened to be in a large group of 22 people from the American Chamber of Commerce members. These are mostly the CEOs from Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Bank of America. Many of the CEOs were there. We were all there in Washington, D.C. We were meeting one of the senators, and those who probably lived in Indianapolis. Currently it is Todd Young. And we walked into the meeting just like any other catch-ups that we were doing as a part of the door knock for 1 week. And I must say that it was such a great elation for me. In fact, I was levitating sitting in that room when 10,000 miles away from Hyderabad, a senator from Indianapolis is talking about Hyderabad as a city. He was talking about KTR. He's talking about how beautiful the infrastructure is. And I'm sorry to say, I love Bangalore. I lived there for 16 years. I still love that city. When the HP CEO is talking about Bangalore, you should see that Todd listened to it for nearly 45 seconds. And then he says, I still like Hyderabad. So just imagine you're sitting here, and maybe we might have never imagined sitting in a place like this, and just look out. It doesn't even feel this is city of Hyderabad. So a beautiful infrastructure is already present, and I'm certainly looking forward to where we will be 5 years from now. For that, we need great platforms. And ISF is one of them. The serendipity it can create by bringing educational institutions, investors, startups, and people like me who is nowhere connected to the system. I have a full-time job with a company and I can do a lot of pro bono work, but it's giving me an opportunity to even take this as a platform to give it back to either the startups or the investors or the entire ecosystem. So I would say it's just a start, and if we don't act on this, even the smallest companies or countries like Vietnam's can just take us over in no time. And for us, this is an excellent opportunity to look at how do we use this as a platform to not just only create jobs, but also innovate. And if we have to survive, that's the only way to make it happen. And I would say that this platform could probably do that 5, 6, 10 years from now. So I certainly congratulate all of you making time to come over, and thank you for giving me an opportunity, Jay Garu. And a couple of my friends told, like we have diesel, petrol, we also have a new fuel called Jay Garu. We have to come out with a new name. And he is the one who puts all that energy around. So thank you for involving me here. Thank you very much.
So Ramesh Garu, thank you for the kind words. You rightly said, once you are a Hyderabadi, you are always a Hyderabadi. Right. So next I would like to invite Mr. Sanjeev Deshpande, Regional Head of APAC Entity Data.
Thank you, Jay Chaudhary Garu, for the opportunity. Startups pitch for the investments and so on. Let me pitch Entity for the startups. Entity Data Business Solutions is part of the 30 billion Entity Data Group, which is part of 120 billion Entity Corporation. Spend around 3 billion yearly on research. Have been working in the India ecosystem and acquired and partnered with more than 20 startups in the last 3 years. 2 have them been in Hyderabad. We actually acquired 2 companies. I have a team of 3 people who are sitting there today. Will be very keen to listen to the startup stories. And we intend to partner with right startups who can help us promote our story, also can contribute to the India's nation building. I'm also the convener for the CII Startup Digital Transformation Panel and play a very active role in my district also. I'm from Adilabad, and if you have heard some IT tower coming up in Adilabad, you know, I was the one who was kind of promoting, and we started 5 startups in Adilabad in last 1 year. It is IT, food processing, renewable energy, these 3 areas, 5 startups from supposed to be one of the backward districts. Imagine what we can do when we come together as a community, as a nation. From that perspective, I'm quite hopeful of what we can accomplish. I wish the very best for all the startups who are going to pitch their stories, and also it is not about you pitching. I think I want all of us also to be able to attract the right startups and pitch ourselves so that we find the right fit and we let the startups live their dreams as they progress. Thank you again, and Jay Chaudhary Garu and all the dignitaries on the dais, thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay Garu. You're a true evangelist promoting entrepreneurship in districts. That echoes with the vision of ISF. So next I would like to invite Mr. Shobhu Yerakarla, the man behind Bahubali. So we have enjoyed the movie that is celebrated across the world, but we never knew the man behind that is Mr. Shobhu Yerakarla. I would like him to share 2 minutes of your thoughts.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for the kind introduction. And Jay Garu, a big congratulations. A very successful event. I think it's much needed in a city like Hyderabad. We have the right infrastructure like T-Works and T-Hub, and we have the entrepreneurial ability. And coming from media and entertainment, I think we are at the cusp of disruption with AI and technology. There are many areas where media and AI can disrupt the traditional way of media is produced and consumed. And I think it's a great time, and Hyderabad is best suited because of the media hub, the visual effects, the CG and animation industry and the filmmaking industry. We are well positioned to take advantage of all this, and these initiatives and the infrastructure being provided by the government, I think will really drive this innovation. I really look forward to this and look forward to, with personal interest, some startups from the media and entertainment space. Thank you. Warmer.
Shubha Garu, thank you for the kind words. We're looking forward to Bahubali 3. So next, I would like to invite Vikrant Varshney from Succeed Innovations to share his thoughts.
Thank you. I'll use this side. Thank you, Jay Garu, for making things possible. In most of the phrase, we word make it succeed, make it happen. So succeed is one of the commonly used word, and that's what I represent. I'm lucky to have worked with Jay Garu since 2019. First time it started with Hyderabad FinTech Forum. And we were fortunate that he agreed to join Succeed Innovation Fund as a GP. And then in 2022, we started to work on ISF. It's taking much bigger shape, and I'm sure gradually it will start to make impact. We are already seeing some glimpse of it. We spoke about winters, right, in the funding. For a startup, they need three things largely, right, other than the product. Mentors who would help them believe in their vision, money, which is obviously helping them scale, and market access, which ultimately the product you built, how do you take it to the market? ISF as a platform can organize all three, and we can probably see with the examples quoted, right, that we've got right mentors, there is money at disposal if you are in a right segment, and there is obviously a market access with the help of all the established folks which are in the room. If you are able to use these three M's, and these three M's have been picked up from MSR Garu's presentations, there were actually two more, but I've forgotten those two, right, or six. So as long as we are focusing on these three, we are good. Everybody from ISF team who has been making it possible, there are many soldiers who are doing their work as a volunteer, and I see some of the friends in the room. Thank you for doing this collectively. At Succeed, we invest in early stage fund. There is no winter for us. We are a well capitalized fund. We have done 35 investment last year. We have already done 11 investment in this year. So if you are in early stage fund, you know who to reach out to. And we'll continue to support you in the coming years too.
I request Manisha Garu to speak a few words.
Good morning. Today when I drove in, the security guard told me that parking is full. And I felt, oh my God, at 9 a.m. in Hyderabad on a holiday, only Jay Garu can make the parking full. So can we please clap for this successful event, which Jay Garu has put together. And I represent HICIA, ISF HICIA as president. Some of you may wonder, what is HICIA doing in a startup event? Well, in next 5 years, 2 million jobs will be created in India, and almost 60 to 80% of those will be in startup and GCC. So if HICIA, the Association of IT Industry, wants to shape future of Hyderabad, we have to prepare Hyderabad for getting startup, become magnet for the startup. And doing it all by ourselves will be short-sighted. It's important to stand on shoulders of giants, and that's where our collaboration with the mighty people like T-Hub, TIE, and ISF comes into picture. There is so much ground to cover. A couple of months back, we had offsite of HICIA, where all the who's who of IT industry were participating. And we had a session by Ramesh, not Ramesh Kaza, Ramesh Loganathan, about startup and what can HICIA do. So we were trying to understand that part. And when we asked the leaders that how many of you want to understand what they can do for the startup, almost all hands went up. So there's a large ground to cover there. And even when Sanjeev here said that he's invested in 5 startups and he's working with 5 other startups, I wanted to know more. So there's so much that we have to do for this movement from employees to entrepreneurs. And that is the movement that we would like to play part in, create awareness, create mentors, give opportunity, give the market access to the startups. There's lots that we can do together. And today we are signing a MOU with ISF, and I am really looking forward to the MOU taking shape and actually doing some activities which will be game changer. HICIA already has MOU with TAI. We have we've drafted the MOU for T-Hub. It has to be inked. We have already done also events with India partners. So we are on the rolls, and we are here to support you in whatever that you require from us. And thank you once again to Jay Garu for pulling us into this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Are these your glasses? No. Okay, sorry. So next I would like to invite Rashida Adinwala, President of TAI Hyderabad Chapter, founder partner at RNI Associates.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. So first thing, when I walked in, Jay Garu says, how come you're so early? Isn't Eid today? So I said, no, of course Eid is there, but my commitment to you is much more. And and of course, Eid, we did our prayers in the morning, and I'm really happy to be here. First of all, I would like to say that Jay Garu was the first founder who actually initiated TAI in Hyderabad in 2003. So he has been associated with the startups, I think, for 30 years now, I must say. And his dedication, his passion, and his commitment to the startup ecosystem, to bringing and to actually nurturing wealth for the country is immense. And we see this what's happening today. The whole room is full, and we are all here. There is some charisma that we are all pulled in here. So thank you so much. TAI is indeed privileged to be part of ISF. We would love to, as you know, TAI also thrives on the 5 pillars of mentorship, funding, trying to education, funding, nurturing. So this is all the pillars of TAI, and which is very much pillars of ISF. And happy to collaborate. And we see a lot of TAI members who are already here, who are already mentors, and we will continue to do what we can. Thank you very much, and have a great day today. Thank you.
Thank you all speakers. Small announcement, we would have our startup pitches starting at 11 o'clock. Request all startup delegates to stay back. With that, I would request Ajit Garu to do curtain raiser. Request technology team to show up the presentation. Request all guests to come back to the stage. We will, Ajit Garu, a quick word from you.
So, you know, in the old days, there was a Hindi film song, "Main idhar jaun ya udhar jaun." So, sitting in the middle, I don't know where I should go.
Yeah,
all right, I'll come there. So, let me first start. Many of you have talked about whether this is the new Hyderabad at 9 a.m. It's nothing of the sort. Okay? I was telling this to Ranjan when we came here. There are only two people who, when they invite you, you have no option. One is God, other is Jay. So whether it's 9 o'clock on a holiday, 10 o'clock, you will be there. Right? My association with Jay is almost 20 years now. It is probably 20. We started in 2003 and then we did a... When Jay was, as you said, the first founder of TIE. And at that time, he came to ISB and said, look, all this education on entrepreneurship is fine. We must do something with the entrepreneurs. And in 2004, we started the TIE ISB Connect. All of it is his idea. I was, you know, like in Hindu, if you have done any puja, the pujari does everything. You sit there and say murmur, murmur, murmur. So my job was murmur. That was the pujari. I've learned that for the last 20 years with Jay. You know, you can't. And from that time, Satish will remember, I mean, that first we had actually had to search for entrepreneurs in Hyderabad way back in 2004. But we did. And honestly, there was a lot that needed to be done. And I remember Satish's boot camps and, you know, the amount of effort that certainly these two gentlemen have put in to develop the entrepreneurship ecosystem in this city is unparalleled. And I want to personally thank both of you for today what we are and today what we see. To some extent started from that seed that was planted in 2003, 2004. You know, and the reason I'm telling you, not just as a matter of celebration, because I do see it's celebration and it is, but I think we are now at the 2.0 stage of it. We started the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Now it has to go beyond the ecosystem. This is a movement. And a movement is defined as one where every section of the society participates. Whether it's government, whether it's industrialists, whether it's a civil society, whether it's students, whether it's everybody. And I think we have to now make this ISF as a movement where all of us have to, as Jay rightly said, each one of us, it's not asking too much to give 1 hour a week or 1 hour a month. But unless all of us come together and change and make us as a society both wealthy and one where there are more than enough jobs. And you know, Hyderabad or Telangana I look forward to is where people from everyone want to come here because this is where the future is. That is what we should be. You know, what we used to look at US 20 years ago is what I would like to see Hyderabad and Telangana in the next 5 and 10 years. There are, Jay, 2 other things I think that we should look at as a startup community and as a movement. One, I think climate change, whether we want it or not, is enormously upon us. It is our biggest duty now to start finding new technology solutions for climate change. We don't have time. We simply do not have the time. And the second is the increasing inequity in the world. We simply cannot focus only on our valuations and our wealth creations unless there is a more equitable society, unless all of us, not just in this city, not just in this country, but all across the world, have a fair share of everything. We cannot claim to be successful as human beings. So in this movement, I hope we will widen our scope. I know I work with agriculture, I work with public health predominantly, and sustainability. Those are all areas where there is enormous difficulty in creating strong business models, in creating small wealth creation, because these are typically double bottom line. And I think all of us owe it to the society we live in to help create those robust business models and to help create a flow of mentorship, investments, and successes in these sectors, which will help the society as a whole to flourish. So I'm volunteering, not that if I don't volunteer, you will still volunteer me, so I'm anyway volunteering to be a part of it. Thank you, and God bless you. Take care.
We will proceed with next section of event, exchange of MOUs. May I request Jay Garu to come in front. I request volunteers to keep MOU documents ready. Yes. Let's start with our own T-Hub. Request MSR Garu to hand over MOU to ISF team. Request Rashida Adenibala, TIE Hyderabad, to exchange MOU with ISF, Jay Garu. Thank you. Request Manisha Shabugaru, Haisia, to exchange MOU with ISF Jay Garu. Do we have Vijay Nandimiti Garu? AG Hub? Okay, we do not have. AG Hub, do we have Vijay Nandimiti Garu? Vijay? Okay. So request Vijay Garu from AG Hub.
Ag
Hub, to exchange MOU with Jay Garu. No. Thank you all. We request Dina Garu to give a quick program outline for startup pitches.
Good. Thank you, Jyoti. Good morning, guys. And Ajit, you are 100% right. You know, when Jay asked you to do something, okay, you can try saying no. Trust me, I've tried. Yeah. And when he pulled me into ISF, you know, he had me, you know, at a spot where even if I had said no, it wouldn't have mattered. We were in the car, you know, going from that Mudyanhalli ashram back to Bangalore. He somehow kicked this idea up in his head. And, you know, Jay, it really, depth of distance, VLK, where is VLK? He escaped. He's gone, okay. So it's depth of time. With there is no opportunity to think and answer, right? So you have to say, your answer is yes, right? Okay, no. So he said, ISF, we're doing. I said, what are we doing? Right? No, we're doing this, right? So it happened. This was in July. So, and end of July, pretty much. So August, September is all we had. And he pulled this off in October 1st and 2nd. And he said, you know, in fact, then the next thing I realized, Ajit, is better to say yes and then say yes, but. So in fact, this is my trick to you. You can't say no, but you can always narrow down your focus and say yes, Jay, but. So I volunteered to run the pitch session series of this, at least I could, manage my time and my team's resources and all of that. Trust me, that actually worked out okay for two reasons. One, it actually gave me the focus, and I had 100 other things going on and still do. So the pitch session happened, and I will be the first person to stand up and say, it was fantastic, and in a very Indian way, it is fantastically chaotic, right? And but great things came out of that. In fact, you heard stories from these guys, right? And that flight simulation story, that's something of a book material or a movie material. I think someday, wherever is Praveen, we hope to see you on a movie with Indian flight simulators all around. Right? It's fascinating. So that whole experience taught me. In fact, Jay said, Jay, this whole effort is going to kill a few people, and I'm one of them, right? So if we didn't get our act together, there are 2,000 startups and a small team of 17 people who had to go through all of this. And you guys know the deal flow story, right? I don't have to tell you anything. And especially if you want to do justice to it, right? I mean, if you can just do and I've been part of academic life too, and where I know how this peer review happens on the research papers. It's not pretty. That is why great research doesn't come out usually. So we didn't want to be ad hoc about it. So we wanted to put a method to that madness. And doing that in a human process way is actually hard. But you can't do much in the 30 days that you had at that time. So we did it. And at the end of the first edition, regardless of all the great stories, I need one more mic? Yeah, because you're turning back. Oh, okay. So, all right. So I'll not turn back. How about that? Okay. So here you go. So then I actually went, I think just a day or two after that, I told Jay, this is absolute madness. You really can't. And then he was telling me 2,000 startups in that edition, 10,000 in the next one, right? So then I said, okay, I just up the kill count to 100x. A lot of people will die if you don't do this right. Then I went back and told him, we will try and digitize this as much as possible, okay? And that's a never-ending process, of course, and I don't think we are fully done yet. But I'll tell you this much. We can handle the 10,000 startups this time. At least we got to that kind of a process, okay? So. And you guys all have started the process. In fact, it actually started 2 weeks ago, right, Jay, in Bangalore. We asked all the startups to apply, and we went and told them, look, at least put some attributes of your startup in, some data, so that we can do a nice exercise, at least first round of matching, instead of just doing a random pairing of the investor panel versus the startups. But like, it's India, right? It's all jugaad. So people will show up, and in fact, I'll not tell you the name and all that. People will come. We're raising $100 million, and it's all confidential, and we need to put you in front of some investors. I said, good luck to you, man. Beyond that, I really don't don't know anything and can't say anything. But if you start getting simple things, and as Satish said, right, it doesn't have to be this mega million story. Something that makes sense in a context. And that's what the platform does. So Entropy is a platform. Many of you, in fact, I'll give you the statistics, and I say this as a reminder that all of us should commit to this process. So 1,001 is where we cut off the registration for this event, and 120 of them were redundant, right? So they will put the same entry in multiple names, multiple emails. You filter all that out. Exact count is 880. Okay, out of that, 67 have actually put the data to a point where we can process it. Okay, another 100 have put, also have put the data to a point where we start thinking about it, right? It's really not going to end in a meaningful outcome of matching, right? So I have one request from all the startup entrepreneurs here and elsewhere. Please take that first step of putting that basic data in. And I have a request from all of you, and I know many investors are sitting here. Please be a little kind. This is the India way. We are not going to get to level 5 maturity on day one, but it will get there. And I think what I see happening through ISF is what I call, in my words, the democratization of entrepreneurship. I think the guys who earlier didn't have hope, in fact, there are many VCs I have come across saying, if you're not from IIT and if you're not, below 30, don't even talk, right? So that's okay. I mean, that's their money. They have the freedom to say it. But beyond that, I think there are lots of people who are not from IIT. In fact, I think there are a lot more who are not from IIT and a lot more who are beyond 30. And I think they will deliver value. And I think we need that, right? So my request to all of you, take that a little gentler, kinder approach in the first few rounds. So you may see chaotic pairing and, some random conversation. And if that ever makes you wonder, why am I here? Then remember Jay's words, why you're here. I think, but my guarantee is if, there is that little bit of, positive involvement from all of you, leave it to me and a great team, and thanks to Jay, he actually helped me find some of these teammates. We will deliver that platform where these sessions will happen in real time, right? And the great story of Y Combinator and the demo day, right? While it's a great story, it's a great Silicon Valley story. And I think if you ever followed MasterCard and Visas, to the T, we would have never had a UPI in this country, right? So we are going the India way, okay? And we will make it happen. There will be an India platform that will actually make every day a demo day. So I think you can democratize entrepreneurship when, in a very rational way. And we are not saying that the slops will get the stage. I think the real meritorious ones will get the stage. But that requires the first few steps to come together. So that's the framework. So in real terms, what do we do? What do we do today? And what do we do later? I'll cover that in 2 minutes and off to you guys. What do we do today? There has been, as I said, the Indian jugaad way of getting all of you guys together, right? So there are some rooms, there are some startups. You'll sit and have some nice conversation, okay? We're hoping a lot of them will lead to a follow-on conversation. And Satish, absolutely no disillusionment anybody that they're going to walk away with a check. And if you're writing, okay, then stop. We have better names for you to write write the check for. All right. But after that, if these lead to follow-on conversation, great. If not, we are on this continuous journey of refining the data from the startups and refining the thesis from the investment crowd and continue to match, run that engine to keep on matching, okay? And today, there are 10 rooms. I don't think we need 10 rooms, but thanks to MSR, very generous support, we have, if needs be, we have 10 rooms, and we have the investor community representing there, 4 or 5 per team, and some rooms have bigger teams, right? And schedule issues, etc., etc. We may not have 100%, attendance there, but do go there. They're on 3 floors, 2nd floor, 3rd, and 4th floor. We are in the 5th floor here, and each floor already has, and all the volunteers who are here, can you guys please raise your hands if you're here or if you've already gone to the floors. If they've already gone to the floors, some of them are here, they will help you, right? And in case if any immediate rejig to be done in getting you guys consolidated into one room or break it into multiple rooms to have those conversations in a meaningful way, they'll help you. So please work with those volunteers in each floor. You had a communication coming to you in terms of which room, which floor you're in. Go there. Startups, you guys have had a communication, which floor, which room, go there. Feel free to have informal conversations, but keep it fair. If somebody is already scheduled, give them the first opportunity. But if there is time open, why not? Have a minute or two conversation and see where that goes. That is for today. This hall here is an open pitch arena. So after all of these guys go there, we're here, some of us, and anybody can come here. Only difference is there you get 10 minutes to pitch, here you get 3. Okay? But don't worry, whether it is 1 or 10, something will come out of this, okay? This room is open for rapid pitch session. We have had, just as a caution, 2 more rooms, that the COE on level 2, COE1 and COE2 as extra pitch sessions, but I don't think we'll need it. I think we can have everything here. So volunteers, 10 rooms, you take them there, all the investors and the startups. Rest, stay here in the rapid pitch session, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun over the next 2 hours hearing the ideas and seeing the energy from the entrepreneurs. Now what will happen beyond that? Don't stop there. We're inching closer to that 10,000 target, and we need constant refining of that data and whatever that you want to take to market as an entrepreneur, whatever support that you want from the ecosystem, all that clarity we need from the startups, and we will work. We have a small team, for all of you and others. We'll start working with you, getting your inputs on what kind of startups would you like to see. It's basically your thesis. We'll program that in so that a lot of this will start happening. Think of it as a deal flow platform for you guys, right? It's already there. And hopefully, success stories coming out of ISF 23 would be hundreds of those versions of those stories that you heard from here. So, they already have this in their WhatsApp. So we're going digital. Okay. So yes, and we have copies if you want. We do have paper copies, not many. We'll help. It's in the WhatsApp. There are volunteers who have paper copies, and they'll help you. And at any point you have any question, 3 of my guys are right here next to that camera. They will be. We are here to help. Okay. All right. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to a very energetic set of pitch sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina Garu. We will open for any questions from friends from media. Any questions for Jay Garu or related to ISF or related to overall startup investor connects?
He will talk to them later as well.
Okay, sure. Okay, with that, right, a special announcement, you would have heard Dina Garu. I request all delegates from startup to look at your communication. You would have got it in your WhatsApp, or we do have volunteers standing around there. Please go to your respective rooms. I request you to be there in 10 minutes or so we can start the pitch program. I request all investors and mentors to please stay back in this room. We do have distribution of trophies, and we would love to have a group photograph with you all and a coffee break here. With that, I request Mahesh Garu to do vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, investors, speakers, and startups, thank you all for being here for this remarkable Investor Connect and Curtain Raiser for India Startup Festival 2023. So first and foremost, I would like to thank Mr. J. Chaudhary for bringing you all here under one umbrella, and especially under the circumstances with his health condition, still is able to pull all you guys here. Now I would like to thank all speakers here who is on the stage for your valuable speeches, and I'm sure these speeches will broaden the thoughts of all startup companies. And also I would like to thank all the investors and mentors who are here. Without you here being for your valuable time, I don't think this event would have been of this scale. And I'd like to thank media and press for coming here. With your support, we'll take our mutual goals to a larger extent. So furthermore, I would like to thank all the organizing committee members and volunteers, especially from Entropy, Brand Hill, Satya Sai University for Human Excellence, JAMA Botanics, and a special mention to the students of Symbiosis College. So last but not least, I would like to extend my special thanks to T-Hub and MSR Garu and his team for not just providing this venue, but also their back-end team has worked day in, day out to make this event special. So in conclusion, I would like to thank once again for all the members who are here for this event, and I would like to extend my invitation for our flagship event, ISF 2023, which is going to be held at Muddanahalli, Bangalore on 10th, 11th and 12th of August. Thank you one and all.
Now I request all the invitees to stay here. There is a group photograph we're organizing with all the investors and invitees. Please stay here and we'll have a coffee served maybe outside after the photograph. So I request all our volunteers to organize some chairs so that we'll have a group photograph with all the invitees. Namaste, my name is J. Chaudhary. I am the founder of India Startup Foundation. Through the India Startup Foundation, we have been setting up world's largest startup festivals. Last year we started, that was in October, ISF 22. There itself we saw more than 2,500 startups, both early stage and growth stage,
They all competed for a prize money. Out of that, we selected about 15 companies. And post-conference also, we started mentoring them. Normally, during the conference, they come and meet the people, they give their presentations, and whoever gets the money. But post-conference, generally, this is not happening in the country or elsewhere also. And we want to make sure that there is a continuity of mentoring. We have more than 250 global mentors. Some are in India, some are in Europe, and some are in America. They all, every week, they give their 1 hour time to mentor these selected startups. It's a great opportunity.
Request all investors to please gather for the group photograph. Request all investors to please gather for group photograph. Yeah. Request everyone to please gather for group photograph. Jay.
Wait, 1 minute. 9866. 98. I request all the mentors, investors, and all the business leaders, invitees to sit here for a group photograph, while all the startup company founders, they can actually go to the other floors for the next of the pitches. I request our volunteers to guide. I request all our volunteers, please guide so that all invited guests are properly said.
Yeah, we need to make...
Any startups who have any questions, please stay back here. Our volunteers will come and
request
answer your
everyone
questions.
to please settle down quickly.
I request all startups to stay back here who have any questions regarding their pitching session. Our volunteers will come and answer your questions.
Request all investors and mentors to please join us on stage.
Investor.
మీరు అందరికీ మెంటర్ మీరు అనుకుంటేలా No, please. Yep. Sir. Yep.
Sir, Mali last.
Sir.
So any investors, CXOs and delegates, please come this way.
CXOs, investors, mentors. Ajit Garu, do you want to come in front, sir?
Please.
So, couple of you. Yeah. Ajit Garu. Sorry.
Yeah, please, because we are just under. Yeah.
Do we have Rashida Adenwala Garu in the photo? Yeah, please. I just wanted to make sure you're there. Thank you. Do we have Tasneem Sharif Garu? If she already arrived, Tasneem Sharif Garu?
She's there.
Tasneem.
She did not come.
Oh, she did not.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're almost there. Request everyone to please settle down for group photograph. Next, we will have volunteers joining you. For now, it's investors, mentors, and COs, CXOs. Request, hope we are good. We'll go next. After this photograph, I request ISF Foundation core volunteers to join in the front row without disturbing the ecosystem. Jay Garu, are we going to the coffee place for mementos? Shall we do it mementos here? Here? Can we do it here?
Yeah, we'll do it here.
Yeah. Request all investors to please stay back. We have mementos distribution. Jyoti and the team, can you please come with your volunteers for memento distribution? Request Jyoti and team to come with volunteers to do memento distribution. Jyoti, give it to JS, sir. Jay Garu. Jyoti and team, request to hand over mementos. Thank you, sir.
Good job.
Thank you.
Everything went well.
Yeah. And ekkada navalo akkadi nunchi kuda correct ga అందుకొరకు స్టెలింగ్ షాట్ డోంట్ డిస్టర్బ్ మై ఫ్లో నేను కరెక్ట్ గా ప్లాన్ చేసుకొని వచ్చాను మధ్యలో శ్లోకాలు చెప్పదని చెప్పి థ్యాంక్ యూ
Good job. Everything went well as of now.
Jyoti. Also, Miss Fargo.